I just come in there and look for knockouts, and that's not the case. I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, well, I'm here. Who want to fight me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter can beat me. Our goal is to demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all of the belts, all of the titles. Body work, body work, body work.
Welcome to Body Work. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Body Work Boxing. It feels so good to be back. And it's another Manic Monday, I should say. You know, I had to take my time and I had to reflect on the whole Riyadh season and the implications of it. And even though I didn't bet on or make a pick on the Craig Richards versus Willie Hutchinson, that's the only one that kind of like I didn't know, because I didn't have enough information, even though I seen Craig Richards a few times. But what wound up happening is I wound up going 3 for 5 on Riyadh season 5v5. And in my prediction, I said that it was 2 fights that made me nervous. The Ray Ford versus the Nick Ball, and the Austin Ammo Williams versus the Hamza Shiraz. And Austin changed his name. He removed the ammo. He goes by Tiger. And the 2 fights I said made me nervous were the 2 fights that actually lost. Then when I tried to double back on it and put the last 3 stoppages, something had happened with my card and they said that they couldn't let the transaction go through, so I'm waiting on a new card in the mail. I was going to be able to right that wrong as far as those picks. But starting off with Craig Richards, you know, Willie Hutchinson just styled on him from the very beginning. Just straight styled on him. Like, he looked like the veteran, and it looked like Craig Richards never really kind of figured it out. I guess Willie Hutch, he could punch, and I think the kind of angles and how sudden he was hitting Craig Richards caught him by surprise. So he wound up getting a unanimous decision. Pretty much a blowout. 116, 112, 117, 111, 119 to 109. Unanimous decision. And we had Ray Ford and Nick Ball. And this was for the WBA featherweight. Ray Ford was 15-0-1. Nick Ball was 19-0-1. And that pretty much came down to Nick Ball basically outworking Ray Ford. He just pretty much outworked him. And it was kind of crazy because Ray Ford looked a lot bigger than him. Like, the size was significant inside that ring. And in the prediction, I said Ray Ford tends to know that he can hit somebody, and then for some reason he just let off the gas. And pretty much that's what happened. He had the more impactful shots. He had the more damage. I thought he broke Nick Ball's nose. And I don't know why he didn't step on the gas. And then right before the 12th round, when this coach was saying we need this round, he said, "Am I winning?" I mean, and just for that to play on the air, it was almost like if anybody else heard that, man, I mean, shoot. And Nick Ball wound up outworking him in the last round, even though Ray Ford had staggered him. And just for whatever reason, just didn't pull the trigger anymore. But he handled it like a good sport. And Nick Ball outworked him for it. Nick Ball actually won the decision. I mean, I kind of had Ray up, but I can't argue with Nick Ball winning that because he outworked him. You know, he outlanded him. Ray Ford was more efficient. He was more effective. He was more accurate. He had the more damaging, more impactful blows, but he just got flat out outworked. And the commentary now is that he's going up to 130. But right before that fight, man, him and Shushu Carrington were going back and forth. They was exchanging words, and it was interesting because when Bruce Shushu Carrington, when he was up there asking about and stating that he wanted anyway, I was saying, well, shoot, you got other champions around that you need to like clean out. Anyway, been in he's in his 5th division. He's a 4-weight champion, double undisputed. That'll be another weight. That'll be his 6th weight class. So like grab one of these other guys, and it would just so happen that right before this fight, the day before the fight, they start exchanging words on social media. And Ray Ford was telling Shushu, hey, all I heard you was saying, you always calling Lil Anyway out, you know. And they was going back and forth, and they were acting like they wanted. The only thing is, I'm thinking Ray Ford is definitely moving up now. So, Austin Tiger Williams now. So back to Nick Ball, he has the WBA. He's the WBA featherweight champ at 126. Austin Tiger Williams against Hamza Shiraz. Now, I know if Austin line you up with that big left hand and he can hit you flush most of the time, 9 times out of 10, he can do damage. He's going to hit you and it's going to feel like an anvil. But Hamza, he boxes very, very well. Very, very well. Very, very accurate. And it was almost like it was just a full boxing clinic on display. He stops Ammo, man, wasn't a good look, but he stopped him in the 11th, man, with a very, very showcase fight in front of all them eyes, man. I think a lot of people became Hamza fans, and I have something that I'm going to play as well towards the end. But we had Dimitri Bivol defending his WBA 175 title against Malik Zanad. And Zanad, feisty, young, talking a lot of smack, you know, this and that. Dimitri Bivol stood right in front of him, was aggressive, and wound up stopping that man. Case closed. Showed emotion. Everybody was impressed by Dimitri Bivol, man. That's why I say I'm a Bivol guy, man. Calling the Matador in my boxers to watch, man. He's one of the most technically sound boxers, fundamental, disciplined. Just, it might not always look as flashy, but he know how to go in there and get the job done. He know how to tame that bull. Daniel Dubois against Hrgovic. Daniel Dubois was giving him a lot of credit because I always come out and say that Daniel Dubois actually stopped Usyk. We can say what we want. I was saying, man, I don't care what you say. He stopped him with that body work. So him and Hrgovic was going, you know, they was going back and forth. Hrgovic seemed like he was just so confident he could just, you know what I'm saying? Looked like he was catching Dubois. He was catching him, but Dubois, he had this 1-1-2 that was just working, you know, but he just wouldn't use it. And then his footwork, when he decided to use it, was good. And he was still coming on strong. He just chipped away and chipped away and chipped away. He really started rocking Hrgovic, and ultimately he had cuts over both of his eyes, affecting his eyesight. And Dubois was actually on his way to putting Hrgovic down, but they wound up stopping it. Lastly, we had Zhang fighting Deontay Wilder. And I was trying to say, you know, I was trying to give, you know, Deontay the benefit of the doubt and say that, oh, okay, cool, you rejuvenated. But I was like, man, we've heard this story before. We've heard this story before. And he rejuvenated before the last one. And, you know, he get in a ring. And I think what was most notable was both of their physiques. Deontay Wilder was cut up, but he didn't have a foundation. He didn't have any foundation. And Zhang was just big, solid, stocky. And I think he's kind of nimble for a big guy as well. Southpaw. And what spelled disaster really was a check right hook. Caught Deontay Wilder coming right in, like nicked that chin like yang. Deontay Wilder turned around, was like, man, here they go with that bullshit. And nobody knew who he was really talking to. And Zhang just ran up and went, bang! And it was over. Ref stood over and was like, hey, look, man. I don't know what you finna do, but the fight is over. Thank you for coming out. Have a good night. And it was good night, Irene. And once that happened, man, that's when the sore losing boxing community reared its ugly head once again, man. Once again, the sore losing boxing community reared its ugly little head again, man. And I said, man, this is what I don't really like about the sport. And it always shows when somebody's favorite fighter or a group of people's favorite fighter always take a loss. They want to ignore everything that led up to it. They don't want to acknowledge any of the things that actually led up to it. They don't want to acknowledge any of the red flags. Just like in relationships, when they be like, oh, did you see any red flags? Nobody want to acknowledge any of the red flags. And then in the hindsight, they want to say, oh, man, you know, but the story is, man, you know why he got. It's like, man, we don't do that with nobody else. Earl Spence went in there and took his L, man. People cut no cards. Nobody ain't say nothing about where Earl came from and how. Nobody gave no story about that. And that's all we hearing right now. And Earl had 3 belts trying to undispute with the last one. And he catch more flack than anything. So now the sore losing boxing community are spreading like germs. Acting like crybabies because the inevitable finally happened. It's just like the Devin thing, and it ain't no wonder why. On the first day of the year, so we 5 months in. This is the beginning of the 6th month. On the first day of this year, January 1st, 2024, I put out the 5 most toxic fan bases, and on that was number 1 was Devin Haney, but also on that was the Wilder fans. Yes, they were. And these, there are some commonalities because they go so hard. They ignore so many red flags. They ignore so many things that they will nitpick other people and other fans about, and they will gas their mans up. And I told you, just like I was telling Devin, I said, look, man, maybe I'm not the biggest fan of the Bronze Bomber, but I do not advise him the way y'all advise him. Everybody said it was okay for him to fight his sparring partner, Hellenius, and said he looked devastating when he did it. They don't want to give AJ absolutely 0 credit for actually fighting him, which is crazy. Then they say this man got set up. I'm like, how did he get set up? The fight that everybody wanted was AJ and Wilder, and both of them had to handle their business. AJ go out there and handle his business. Wilder go out there and lose. Oh man, look, I told y'all they didn't want AJ to fight him. I'm like, we do this. We do this for the fighters. The bias always shows, man. All somebody's favorite fighter got to do is fight, face some adversity, or lose, and you actually gonna really see somebody's true color. I've never heard so many hindsight is 2020, cherry picking, advocating, matchmaker fans in the entire sport. I've never heard it. All of a sudden, oh man, he wasn't matchmaking. Oh man, they set him up, man. He had 2 hard fights. The dude he was fighting was 41 years old. We knew he had power, he had southpaw, but let everybody else tell it, oh, he wasn't all that, he wasn't all this. Everybody who really knew what was going on knew that they already knew Wilder was going to sleep. They oh man, but if he land that right, feed into that hardest hitting man on the planet, all this other stuff, gassing up all the knockouts, and not really realizing that it was a different day and age. He shined in a time when the heavyweights, they weren't like the Lennox Lewises and the Mike Tysons and the Holyfields and all that. It wasn't the same crop of fighters. These guys actually looked up to those guys, but just naturally, it just wasn't there. It hasn't been there for a while. And everybody refused to actually, it's just like everybody was hyping up Tyson for actually beating Wilder. And it was like, oh, but then it turned around and say that Tyson wasn't anything. And what happened? Usyk come up and expose it all. But we give Dubois no credit for stopping Usyk. The heavyweight division is almost kind of like wide open, man. We don't know who's who. Because the guy who I thought was the Sasquatch got stopped by Caballero a couple weeks ago. Jared Anderson said that his legal troubles are behind him. He seemed like he's fully focused. We've heard this story. We watched that movie before. I was thinking he was the next big thing. We were supposed to get him in Wilder. Now that don't look like. Now everybody's coming to terms and saying, listen, man, you might want to go ahead and hang it up. Why? Because you hired a guy that you knocked out. The guy's more in love with you than he is in love with y'all winning. Anybody that can actually see or have a pair of eyes can actually see that your trainer's in love with you. You don't need to be trained by no dude that's in love with you. You just don't. It is what it is, man. I ain't want to talk to nobody about this because people get all in their feelings. And I say, look, man, if you got a close personal attachment, terms of endearment with somebody, don't talk boxing with me about them. Don't talk boxing with me about them because I'm tired of always being told I'm a hater when I'm pointing out the truth all along. And then guess what happened in the end? Yeah, Ali, I'll be goddamn right. So, long story short, man, we got to stop showing our true colors when our favorite fighters lose. Two of my guys lost. Ray Ford lost and Austin Tiger Williams lost. I didn't cry about it. And they wound up handling it like good sports. Like good sports. Good sportsmanship. They didn't complain. They both, hey, man, I ain't make no excuses. My hat goes off. Perfect etiquette. And that's what we need to get around to in the sport, man. But like what's going on right now online, people are showing their true colors. Now everybody want a discount. And just like last time when Deontay Wilder lost to Joseph Parker, everybody was hating on AJ. I was like, I do not understand. Now AJ had a cakewalk and no, it was a cakewalk when your mans came back after 2 years and fought Hellenius. 1 round in 2 years and fought Hellenius. 2 minutes and 52 seconds into the fight, it's over. Much backing up and basically I'm not sure what in the world happened. It kicked me out. But I'm here. Pop Smoke in the building. Wilder done. Cookie Monster. Body work. Colt Keith salute body work. I thought it was BS that Shiraz was basically 2 weight classes bigger than Ammo. Shiraz got skills, but his best attribute is his size, in my opinion. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. People are picking and choosing when they want to use that weight thing. Cause let's be honest, if I were to be honest with you, again, I say this all the time. Naturally, like right now in this day and time, Ray Ford is bigger than Tank. He fighting at 126, just now getting ready to go up to 30. So, you know, we're gonna pick and choose, we can pick and choose this weight stuff. But let me make sure everything is right. But more importantly, I had some things. Man, that I was thinking about, man, and I don't know if it's gonna happen. I'm not really gonna kick that community while they down. I'm really not gonna do it. I just want to say that we just gotta start being real, man. We gotta start having responsible boxing conversations. And you can't be scared to tell people what's really going on, man. Bump all of this. You want to be in the in crowd. You don't want to rub this person wrong, that person wrong. Let's just be real. Because in the end, the truth comes out. We saw that man running around that track or acting like he was running around that track, and we know he ain't never ran. He on video basically saying that, listen, man, I was blessed. I had a gift by God. I didn't have to do this, and I didn't have to do that. Like, it's on wax. But it's so crazy how I see like channels who like to talk about everything but boxing. Yeah, like a channel that like to talk about everything but boxing. They'll dig up the dirt on all these fighters. Like certain fighters, they'll dig up all kind of dirt. They'll be real specific about it. But then when it comes to people like the fighters that they like, oh, they don't know that much. Oh, they wasn't aware. Or they didn't know nothing. They didn't know how he was acting out in the streets. They didn't know what he was doing to his brother and all that stuff. They didn't hear the Twinkie conversation. They didn't hear none of that stuff. They didn't see the twerking videos. They didn't see none of these things. They didn't acknowledge none of this behavior, none of this crazy lunatic. Like, they didn't acknowledge none of that stuff about this man. I mean, he did some historic things, 10 title offenses. You got to give your kudos to him. But this is something that was coming down the pike a long time ago. This is like this Devin Haney stuff that we can go ahead and put to bed. But I'm telling y'all, it's a certain group of people, man, that come with bad juju, man. If they get behind you and they pushing you like that, man, you might want to start looking to your left and your right. You might want to go ahead and start dusting your shoulders off. Because these dudes will bite. Listen, these dudes bite. I'm going to show y'all this. It was several different ways I could have took this thing, but they'll bite. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. And I'm tired of doing it. This is the only reason why I gotta do this, because it keeps happening, man. And I'm like, as soon as I see it, as soon as it pops out to me, I started saying, all right, look, I'm gonna start keeping track of it. But listen to this. This is me, right? This is me on May 30th. This is me on May 30th. Listen to this. The boxing game, I think it's starting to slow down for him too. The only thing is, Hamza, he looks like one of them guys now. From everything I've seen, he looks like he looks like he can fight. The man looks like he can fight. He looks like The way his style is, he fights a style that if somebody like Fundora adapted his style, Fundora would be virtually unstoppable. So that's me. If Fundora adopted his style, he'll be virtually unstoppable. Now listen to this bum, and they all doing it. I'm about to start exposing them all.
Crispy punches. Oh boy, was sharp, man. He was very sharp. If Fundora fights the same way that dude just fought, it's man down over here. But he's gonna have a problem.
You hear that? I told y'all, man. Like it ain't no. You can't. Hold on. For the people who might think I'm lying, listen to this. This is me, May 30th. The boxing game, I think it's starting to slow down for him too. The only thing is, Hamza, he looks like one of them guys now. From everything I've seen, he looks like he can fight. The man looks like he can fight. He looks like the way his style is. He fights a style that if somebody like Fundora adapted his style, Fundora would be virtually unstoppable. That's May 30th. This yesterday.
The old boy was sharp, man. He was very sharp. If Fundora fights the same way that dude just fought, it's man down over here. But he's gonna have a problem.
I told y'all about these pussy clots. They do it all the time. All the big ones, they do it. They're taking chop, and they do it to everybody, man. It's like I don't want to say a certain name. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say a certain name as far as record label and all that. Like somebody that was known for having talent and being a vampire and just biting and sifting and moving on to the next one and doing the same thing. But they do it. These big channels are doing this. It's some big channels that's doing it. There's nothing original about them. You know, they run around, they grab this or they grab that. I'm like, oh, I like that. I'm going to use that. Thumbnails. I'm about to start every time I see it. I'm going to be very tedious and I'm going to start. And I had a bunch of them. I got a bunch of them with some big channels that's doing it. But I'm about to start putting them on blast. You know what I'm saying? And if I see it doing to somebody else's channel, if I see it somewhere else, I'm going to put it on blast like, nah, man, because with one thing we got our creativity. You do have name, image, and likeness, right? But it's starting to get carried away with these fools. They just think they could just come by and just grab and just talk and just steal. And they think they like that, but they really not. Like they do it all the time. They've been doing it. There's some big people. I stopped following. I try to block them as much, but all they do is create another account and they'll be able to watch your stuff either way. But it's another big dude. He took that thing the last time back when I used to go kick it on the championship rounds. I was talking about Adrian Broner, and this was back when Adrian Broner, we was giving an assessment over there, and I was like, man, he looked like he in his second trimester. This dude said it like about a week later. I finally seen it. I was like, man, like, dude, does anything like do you just run around cop? That's what we do online though. So I sit back and I watch these fools, and I'm starting to see it so much that it's starting to happen so much and so often. I'm actually having time for it. Why? Because everybody's serving up them refried beans. Everybody serving up refried beans. Everybody just remixing it. They adding a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, might sprinkle a little cayenne in there, some teriyaki sauce in there, and they spitting it right back out. It's the same thing everywhere. It's nothing new. Nothing original. I know y'all heard somebody give a class about, did y'all actually hear somebody reading the gaslighting tactics today? Did y'all hear somebody reading those definitions out loud on their channel today? Like that's something brand new. Like that's not something that was part of the curriculum over here. And I've been showing you that guy is a master biter. He's not a master debater. He's a master biter. And he tells on himself all the time as well. I'm going to tell you how. This is part of the sore losing boxing community. And this is the only reason why he's getting it, because he's part of the sore losing boxing community. I'm going to tell you how he tells on himself. He several times there's been somebody that comes on this channel and you know what they'll say? They'll say, "Oh man," he said, "Hold on." He said, "Yeah." They say, "Do you know who?" "Oh yeah, I know who you are. Yeah, I know who you are." Like, "Oh, you do?" He's like, "Yeah, I go by your channel all the time. I see your stuff all the time. I see you all the time." What's the problem with that, y'all? What's the problem with if somebody say they've been by your channel, they go by there all the time? What's the problem with that? And you don't know. What's the problem with that? The problem is they're by your channel, listening to your stuff and saying and seeing you all the time, but they're never saying anything. What are they doing? They're pilfering. They just over there just listening and pilfering and borrowing all the time. And they know you, but they want everybody to come up. No, you gotta grease the mitts. That's why they'll say, "Hey man, go subscribe to such and such." "Oh yeah, man, go do this because he does." Like, no, they all be biting. The wolf pack be biting. They're notorious for it. They'll see somebody that's like, that ain't got the numbers, thinking that, oh, ain't nobody ever gonna know. Ain't nobody. And it's crazy because every time I go back and I'm like, oh man, it's been a couple months. Let me go see what they got going on. I catch stuff like that. I literally go weeks without going over there, or I'll go in there and I catch stuff like that instantly. That's part of the sore losing boxing community. They have no creativity. And in hindsight, they want to be matchmakers. Oh man, he was match tough. Oh man, it's like, but then want to rag on Devin all god daggone day. Devin ain't looking the best out on the streets. Yeah, YouTube and all that, he's getting killed out here in the court of public opinion. Yes, he is. He got his ass up. But god dang. And these are the type of people that when they say they won't, you know how they say you won't or let you die? You won't, or you won't let nothing, you know what I'm saying? That's these kind of guys. They always got to keep it. You see how one day it's, oh no, because I think and I don't nobody even really care. Don't nobody even really care. These people have gotten, their cojones have gotten so large. They've gotten so large that now they can tell you, they're literally out here telling you about what a boxer and a coach should do financial wise and this and that. Like these I'm talking about these God complex people who bite and steal, and they tell on themselves because they used to steal when they were younger. And then it's not going to be anybody out here on the planet that is diagnosed as being cool that can win anything over me. Nothing. They crazy, but they ain't stupid. It's a difference. But that's part of the sore losing. I'm glad that like this is the second pretty much. I'm thinking, man, this the Devin fan base, it can pop a couple different heads. He can get back in the saddle. He can get right. He can go back in there. He can wait till after this with Bro Matias. You know, he can see Gary Antoine Russell, which I don't think he's gonna have any choice. He's gonna see Sandor Martin. He can jump back in the saddle and let bygones be bygones and march on and be what he gonna be. But I think that's coming to a halt. This other one, the Big Bang Zhang, he pretty much put that other one to the halt. Now we can focus and we can try to talk about boxing in a manner in which we put all the boxers on the scale. If we're going to get personal, we're going to get personal. If we're not going to get personal, then we're not. And we can just judge what they do inside the ring and we can stop all this crime. That's what we can do now. Because 2024 is looking like a cleansing, man. It's looking like it from last year to this year, boxing, like the great Bernard Hopkins said, man, boxing will call your bluff. And there's a great cleansing going on. It's like real being separated from the fake right now. You know, those who lie are being separated from those who tell the truth. You know, in all thy ways. Like people that flip-flop. Like one day they hot, one day they cold. It's starting to happen. Just depends on what you might get. The same person. If you listen Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you might get that person. You listen on Tuesday and Thursday, you're going to get the other personality. It's just you got to stay on schedule. So if you catch the Monday, then catch the Wednesday, then catch the Friday. But don't go Monday and Tuesday. You're going to see two different people. Trust me. I've been studying. When I'm not out here and I don't feel motivated to actually put out content, that's when I'm in study mode. That's when I'm upgrading mode. That's when I'm, you know what I'm saying, figuring out another thing to do, another threshold, or setting more goals for the channel and things like that. But you see what I'm focused on. I'm focused on what's going on inside the ring. And a lot of times I'm telling you stuff in real time. In real time. I'm telling you how it is in real time. I'm not waiting and being no hindsight is 2020 looking at. I'm not doing that. And you get me every time. You don't get this one, you don't get a happy-go-lucky, and then you get the same mic every time. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing that body work every time. I'm going to keep it all the way funky with you every time. It ain't no different me. It ain't no other me. It's Mike. The same Mike that go and do HVAC, the same Mike that run and jog and work out, the same Mike that love his wife, like the same Mike. Everywhere I go. You're not going to get nothing different. I don't know why y'all allowing yourself to fall in love with these characters online, man, and all they doing is just, you know what I'm saying, they got y'all seasick, man. Y'all don't even know which way to go. You know what I'm saying? Let's cut out the shenanigans, man. Just be real, man. Pull your friend to the side. Tell him he got a booger in your nose. You got a booger in your nose, cuz. Don't let him walk around like that. Don't do me like that. But hey, man, Mike, go like this. I'm like, oh, for real? Oh, my bad. Let me go take care of that. I'm not going to be like, oh, dare you. Online been funny lately, man. Transports boxing. Bodywork, salute. Salute, champ. That Matchroom couldn't catch a break. Nobody won. I was like, oh, the pressure is on Wilder to win. Yikes, yeah. All the pressure. Angelina, bodywork. Salute, Angelina. Oh, you know his new name is I think his new name is it's something like Sean Porter Stop My Fight, or Kenny Porter Stop My Fight. No, I think it's Kenny Porter Stop My Fight. He got a couple names, but they just like that. You know what I'm saying? That's where Larry been. I don't think Larry think he welcome over here anymore, because Larry always on that BS. He's a real troll. For real. But I got some things coming up, y'all. I've been in the lab. And shout out to Erwin Toywares. You know what I'm saying? Erwin be checking in, man. You always either catch it in Road Rage. Shout out to my people, y'all. I don't believe in y'all hanging, man. I just be like, man, ain't nothing really be going on, man. And it's clear that people don't like the truth as much as they say they do. They don't like that real boxing talk as much as they say they do. They want that drama. They want that juicy. They want that gossip. And I just can't. I could do it, but I don't want to contribute to that, y'all. It just seems like the real deal, you know what I'm saying? It don't get the support. It don't get the support. It's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing, but it don't get the support. It don't. It's the Wild Wild West out here, man. It's the Wild Wild West. But hey, I'm still in it to win it. I just figure I'll talk about it, man. Who knows what's next for Zhang? I think Zhang and Dubois need to get it on. Let Zhang and Dubois get it on. And I don't know if Jared ready for a Kabayel or somebody like that. But Jared, it's time for his killing spree to start commencing. I'm glad his legal troubles are behind him, but the state of the heavyweight division We know Usyk. We know that they're fighting at the end of the year on the 21st of December. Usyk and Fury. That's the rematch. And man, the heavyweight division is wide open. It's wide open. I think AJ, I think AJ is his resume is aging like fine wine. A lot of people keep bringing up the Andy Ruiz stuff, just like people brought up the Tyson Fury thing. But I don't think that it was as. I think those were two different things. AJ don't look like he looked like maybe initially his little he had to work his confidence up, but it looked like his confidence is back. AJ looking like he's pulling the trigger. Like AJ looked like it finally clicked on when he need to be aggressive and how he need to be aggressive, and turning on his Viper. So I look forward to the heavyweight division. I'm not gonna talk about the sore losing boxing community anymore. Ray Ford messed up that man. Ray Ford and Shushu. My whole little video got messed up. I had a whole little video about them. Called Shots Fired. And maybe they'll still see each other. But Ray Ford, he looked like, that fight could have went either way. Nick Ball outworked him. And, Ray Ford, once he go back and he look at the tape and he see how much bigger he was and how impactful his shots was, he could have stepped on the gas at certain points and really let his hands go. But that's what I said about him. He'll fall asleep in the middle round sometimes, don't let his hands go, thinking that he's going to be able to, pop the clutch in the end. You ain't going to be able to do that all the time. Especially if you got somebody like him that's a busy bee. He's a worker bee. Nick Ball was going to work the whole time. And, even though he was smaller, it looked like his power wasn't as hard. His was accumulation. He was getting off them hooks and going up under and, hitting the gloves and beating up the hands. And, he was just working and outlanding. You can get outworked. And that's what happened to Raymond Ford. But I really appreciate how he handled it. He handled it like a real champ. Like, he handled it with grace. He took the loss and said, listen, yeah, he was the better man. I'm not making no excuses. I mean, it was what it was. That's what I like to see. Your man just outworked you. You know what I'm saying? And Ray Ford, he gonna be all right. Probably gonna have a lot more power. And then the dimensions are gonna be a little like they don't get too much different. But he got he getting ready to go up there to 130. O'Shaquie. A lot of people conveniently don't fight O'Shaquie, even though O'Shaquie sometimes he do the same thing, but I think O'Shaquie, he might turn it on. He might turn it on a little bit faster. He might. Especially the new, like O'Shaquie, like I think he's seeing I think he's going to embrace the moment. Champion Sports Boxing. I was rooting for Ray Ford. He'll be back and get that revenge. Yeah. They're already saying he's going to move up. I seen an article when they're saying he's going to move up, and yeah, he'll definitely entertain a rematch. I'm sure Nick Ball might not mind going up, but that, Ray Ford gonna be even bigger. So, yeah, he'll get it back. But I like the way he handled it. Ammo handled his defeat the same way. With grace. And Hamza, you already heard the word. You heard what I said. You heard what I said on the 30th versus what old boy said yesterday. If Fundora fight like him, he'll be unstoppable, is what I said. But all in all, man, that was the wrap up of Riyadh season. I wanted to get that out the way. So I start rolling out this other stuff. I got some Saburo Matias. I got some Xander Zayas. I'm gonna still drop the Ray Ford and the Choo Carrington, and got a couple other things I'm gonna drop. But I just wanted to come out and say that, man, we gotta police up the conversation in boxing, man. We gotta get it together, because we getting some good matches, man. Boxing's in a great place. We got fights after fights. We got AB coming up. AB sounding more mature. Two of the best interviews I've seen here lately is the one with Najee from Cigar Talk, and him talking to AB, and then Zed Brooks Media talking to Jaleel Hackett. If you talking about how to like people that I like to watch, especially like if they're, you know, if they're like that, those the way they interview, still ask some of the questions or get down to the bottom of some of the things, but it's not, they didn't seek no salacious, like they wasn't really like messy and sloppy with it. It was, you know what I'm saying, it was more like a conversation. It wasn't like put nobody on a spot, and it was mature. I felt like I walked away understanding where Adrian Broner was, at least for, you know, at least from what was laid out, where Adrian Broner was. Got to see him reflect, got to see a little bit more. I walked away with a better feeling about Adrian Broner after seeing that interview. Buzz Boxing, salute, body work. Check out Buzz Boxing, man. He been in the lab too. Champ. I see Champ Sports and Buzz Boxing. They been in the lab, man. They been working. They stay working and putting out new content, new fresh content. But boxing in a good place, man. Boxing is in a good place. And I think we're gonna get a treat. I think Blair Cobbs and Adrian Broner is more like a perfect storm conversation. That's the one I actually call pressure. And I want to see. Adrian Broner got me kind of curious, man. He got me kind of curious, man. I kind of believe in Adrian. I know Blair the Flair, man. Blair the Flair got a left that he can pretty much throw from anywhere, and that left is serious. Like Blair the Flair can knock. He's a knockout artist, man. And he got a herky jerky style. And you know, he might could catch Adrian Broner cold, because punch resistance is a thing. Even though Blair, he's been inactive as well, but Blair the Flair has the kind of power that can, you know, even though Adrian Broner got a chin, Blair the Flair, if he catch Adrian Broner right, he couldn't make AB go 9-9. If he get to land in that left, like when he get the cocking, when he get to throwing them haymakers, them wild joints, that's just like a Scud missile, and he get to landing flush, or he stun him, and you know what I'm saying, he can. But if AB is in shape and he knows how to pivot, and he picks that lock, and he uses his maturity and his boxing IQ, this could be a sneaky good fight. And you know, everything that I was seeing from Adrian Broner, even though I didn't do any videos bashing the man and bringing him down, even though everything I've seen with Adrian Broner over the last 18 months to 2 years, I would have never thought I'd been saying that, hey man, I actually believe Adrian Broner, if he is in shape like that, if he is like in that shape, because I've seen him, if he is in shape, this could be a sneaky good fight. This is actually a fight that I want to see. It's on Friday. And then we got fights on Saturday. We got Xander fighting Patrick Teixeira. Looked it up. Patrick Teixeira, he's been, I was wondering where he was at. He's been a little active. I thought he was inactive. I thought he was out of sight, out of mind, like Brian Castano. Now, I'm not sure what happened with Brian Castano, but if you recall, that's the one that Brian Castano actually got his belt off of, Patrick Teixeira. And this is a step up. I'm thinking, man, you know, because, you know, people already know that it's Amanda Serrano. They know that it's Sabril Matias. But they're wondering, is Xander Zayas the next big thing? Is Xander the next big thing? I'm wondering too. From Puerto Rico. But that's it. That's all I really wanted. We should be getting the press conference for Xander and Shushu on Thursday to face off. Yes, it's a lot of boxing, man. Depending on how you look at everything, how you feel. Like, where are you putting your mind at? Are you breaking it down? Are you caught up in the sensational? Are you looking at what's going on inside the ring when you're picking these fights? Because I was very clear in my prediction. I said, these are the two that make me nervous for this reason and that reason. If I was like them guys, I'd have been all hands down. I said, no, these are the guys who I think going to get their hand raised, and these are the guys who I hope get their hand raised. I was hoping that Ray and Ammo, I'm still calling him Ammo, man. That Tiger, man. I like you better as Ammo, not Tiger, But I'm a realist, man. And that's what it's about, man. The boxing, the fruits and veggies, not that Reggie. I'm here. I'm just waiting, watching. I'm developing content in the background. I'm gonna start focusing more on my videos and doing my lives when it's necessary, and calling the fights as well. I wanted to come out here and put a stamp to this. I'm glad that era is over. I'm glad that other era is going out the way. I'll be honest, because it's just a distraction, man. It's a big distraction to the boxing game, man. I'm just being real. You probably hear somebody say this in another 6 months, I'm not saying it right now. In about 6 months, you'll probably hear somebody say this verbatim. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm just glad it's over with. Now the heavyweight division can go on and be what it's gonna be without always being attached or somebody always judging based on their opinions and their infatuation with that guy. You know what I'm saying? Or that other guy. I'm kind of relieved. I'm kind of happy. And it's for the sake of boxing. How we used to say in the Army, it's tight, but it's right. And it is what it is. And that's just how I feel. Post more videos, keep them coming. Beware of thieves. I got more. I got one that so I couldn't even believe it. I'm like, these guys were bold enough to use. It was about the fighter. It had the same. I'm talking about the same exact. It was about the same exact fighter and the same exact music. I'm trying to figure out if they used the highlight from the same exact fight that I used. But like, it's I don't want to be perceived as one of them guys that's thinking that everybody is this and this and that. But I mean, it's getting so flavored. I gotta. But I'm gonna just sit back and just take it. No, I'm not one of them kind of people, man. I'm not one of them kind of people, but I appreciate your support, Champ Sports Boxing. You know what I'm saying? You too, Bubs. Angelina was in here. That's all I really wanted to get down with about this thing and put that to bed and look for that new, fresh content that I got coming out. Let me see who I missed. I think I shouted out everybody. I don't think I missed anybody. But thanks for coming through and hollering at your boy. Don't forget to like the content. Subscribe if you haven't. Share the content. My Cash App be in there. My super chat button do work. You know what I'm saying? Contrary to popular belief. But anyways, I appreciate y'all coming through, man. Just hollering at your boy and kicking it with me when y'all can. Thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch, but you was like, what the fuck is this nigga right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork.